daughter wanted me to get to the back of the shirt. Can I do that? Forward? Awesome. Day 92, Coffee with Kenny. My daughter just got back from Florida on her trip, so she brought me back a cool coffee cup and a new Daytona Beach t-shirt. Heck yeah. So today we're gonna cover requirements for the commercial helicopter add-on. Since we've made a week of add-on videos and of course more to come. It's just good content having a Hogs member in town working on us add-ons, so this is great content for us. So we're gonna cover the requirements, and I'm also gonna cover the 5 hours that you need for instrument during the commercial. This comes up a lot from people and they wanna know, what does this entail, and can this be done by a CFI or does it have to be a double I? So we'll get to that in a minute. Speaking of trips, I'm excited. You know, Taz and I authored Top 10 Check Ride Tips, #1 Amazon bestseller. That's down below. We're gonna go to Oregon to Precision Helicopters to fly the Cabri, or Cabri, however you say it. I have a Hogs member that flies for NYPD that just invited me out to see NYPD Aviation Unit. I'm excited about that. And then I have another Hogs member who flies for California Highway Patrol, and he wants to talk about some stuff, so I'm gonna give him a call. That should be interesting. I love California. You know, I grew up being inspired by, you know, all the television shows with helicopters in them and all the cop shows with helicopters. So that's cool. And you know, our operations manager, Brian Rutledge, flies helicopters in California for law enforcement. Did you know that? 30-year aviator, 30-year police officer, who is our operations manager, who makes sure we keep good, detailed, oriented content for all of you. Over the years, I've been invited to so many cool places, and I worked so hard for so many years building helicopter land ground school. I never got out to meet members. I never, you know, got out to go to any of these places, and it's kind of a bummer because I've had a lot of really good invitations. And last night, Gloria and I were talking once she got home, and I said, you know what? We got to do some of this. Oh yeah, we also got, coming up in June, Taz and I are going to do a book signing in Las Vegas. So you'll have to come visit and hang out. We'll get you the details as soon as we get the date. Taz is a super busy guy, flying for the Air Force and then doing his civilian flying and then having his family life. Busy guy, waiting on a date from Taz for our book signing in Las Vegas. That's going to be fun. So a lot of cool trips, and I think most of these are going to have to be a part of Coffee with Kenny. Oh yeah, and we got a member who's going to stop by in his R66 on his way to Michigan. So there'll be a Coffee with Kenny. We already agreed. We met at Heli Expo and had a good talk, and I said, well, he goes, how about if I swing by when I go through there in my R66? I said, good content for a Coffee with Kenny video. Hogs member stopping with his R66. That'll be cool. So lots of fun stuff coming up. All right, let's get to the requirements. Hello, I'm Kenny Keller, creator of Helicopter Online Ground School, and I want to cover the question we get a lot about how many hours does it take to become a commercial helicopter pilot. And we're going to cover for initial pilot, and we're also going to cover for add-on pilot. So the FAR tells us a person who applies for a commercial pilot certificate with a rotorcraft category and helicopter class rating must log at least 150 hours of flight time as a pilot that consists of at least 100 hours in powered aircraft, of which 50 hours must be in helicopters, 100 hours of pilot and command flight time, which includes at least 35 hours in helicopters and 10 hours in cross-country flight in helicopters. It then tells us 20 hours of training on the areas of operation listed in 61.127(b)(3) of this part. That includes at least 5 hours on the control and maneuvering of a helicopter solely by reference to instruments using a view-limiting device. 1 2-hour cross-country flight in a helicopter in daytime conditions that consists of a total straight line distance of more than 50 nautical miles from the original point of departure. 1 2-hour cross-country flight in a helicopter in nighttime conditions that consists of a total straight line distance of more than 50 nautical miles from the original point of departure. 3 hours in the helicopter with an authorized instructor within 2 calendar months of the test. 10 hours of solo flight time in a helicopter. During that 10 hours of solo time, 1 cross-country flight with landings at a minimum of 3 points with 1 segment consisting of a straight line distance of at least 50 nautical miles from the original point of departure, and 5 hours in night VFR conditions with 10 takeoffs and landings with each landing involving a flight in the traffic pattern. So whether you're doing an initial commercial or an add-on commercial from a fixed-wing commercial, you still have to do the same requirements. If you're doing an initial and you're just going to do all your training in a helicopter, then it's not really that hard to figure out. You just go through what we just read, and you have to have the required dual, the required solo, and the total time and the total PIC time. Now when it comes to commercial add-on, this is where people really want to know, okay, well, what do I really have to have minimum to do the commercial add-on? You're going to have the 35 hours pilot in command in helicopters. You're going to have the 20 hours dual, so you're going to have at least 55 hours of flight time to do your add-on. Because there's a clause in there on the 10 hours of solo time. When you're doing the commercial, during that 10 hours of what they call solo, you can actually have an authorized instructor on board, meaning you can't take up your friends and your family when you're doing this 10 hours of solo, but you can have an authorized instructor on board. So that may be just clear as mud for you, but if it is feeling like that, don't worry about it, because every time I go to do an add-on rating with somebody, we sit down, I kind of have it, in my head, but I start to sit down, open up the FAR/AIM manual, and go through it step by step with the person so we can go through, talk about it, and make sure we know what exactly it is that we have to do and we have to cover. So I want to make this just kind of an in general video to give you an idea. If you're off the street, it's going to take 150 total hours. Some could be in airplanes, some can be in helicopters. So you have to really go through the reg to figure out what can be what. Same thing with the add-on. 150 total time, and the other key is the 35 hours pilot in command and the 50 hours in helicopters. So I hope that helps just a little bit. Please give us a like and a share. If you'd like to learn about our helicopter online ground school, there's a link in the description box down below this video. You can go to that link, or you can simply go to helicopterground.com in your browser. We offer online ground school memberships for private, commercial, certified flight instructor. We have specific sections on the Robinson R-22, the Robinson RD-4, and Enstrom helicopters. And we also provide flight training in the Robinson R-44 and also the Enstrom F-28F, which you can also find more about on our website at helicopterground.com. So please give us a like and a share, and we'll see you in the next video. Okay, hope that helps you out with the requirements. Know that you as a pilot need to know these requirements. You need to go to the FAR/AIM and know these requirements yourself. You need to work through the FAR/AIM and all the requirements by yourself. You need to work through them with your instructor, and you need to be familiar with those, because on any check ride, the examiner can say, what did you have to do for this rating? Well, where do you look that up in the FAR/AIM? So you need to be familiar with the regulations, what it is you need and not need to do. We gave it to you today so that you can give a quick glance, because I get this question all the time, and I've been getting a lot of them, of course, since we've been doing add-on week. Lots of people asking me questions about doing add-ons. So that helps, hopefully. Please comment down below about your additional ratings. And we'll go on to the 5 hours. My examiner told me specifically, here's what he said. He goes, I'm going to tell you how I interpret this. The 5 hours that you need, they want you to have 5 hours in a helicopter. This can be from a certified flight instructor. Doesn't have to be a double I. This is the 5 hours required for the commercial. And he said what we want to make sure is a person going for a commercial license is going to be out flying in a commercial environment. They want them to have that 5 hours of minimum training on what to do if you go double IMC. Inadvertent. You fly into the clouds by accident. At least with that 5 hours, hopefully you'll have the skills to go to the instruments, claim an emergency, call for help, and get vectors somewhere, get out of the clouds. That's what that 5 hours is about. So the 5 hours of flying for instruments for the commercial, according to my examiner, can be done by a CFI. It doesn't have to be a double I. Now, of course, the CFI needs the basic skills, which he should have, or she should have, on what to do if you go inadvertent. Hopefully that clears that up for a lot of you. Thanks for joining day 92. Gave you a view from the upper deck today. Man, as this gets green, it's gonna be so much more fun. Love being outside anyway, but man, day 92. Put your comments down below. Please subscribe to the channel. You can go below this video to the link to get top 10 check ride tips. We bought the books for you. We send them to you for shipping and handling. You can go down below to grab the private pilot membership for just $49 a month. Included with that is a included with that is a 24-hour test flight Check it out for 24 hours. If you want to keep it, do nothing, just keep it. And then go month to month, keep as long as you like, cancel anytime. In that 24-hour test flight, if you decide it's not right for you, we part as friends. Simply remove your credit card from within inside the site. Or if you signed up with PayPal, go into PayPal, end that subscription, and you'll be billed nothing. And you're welcome back anytime. We part as friends. Great deal, I'm telling you. All right, my daughter just got home from a week being gone for spring break, so I want to get in and hang out with her today, spend some good quality time with my daughter. Subscribe, click the bell, give us a thumbs up, and put your comments down below. And we will see you in day 93. Yo, don't let the gators get you. And P.S., in case you're still hanging around, speaking of alligators, I helped a buddy of mine take his Jet Ranger once from Cleveland to Key West, and we're flying in the southern part of Florida. And you got to put into your flight planning, there's some big open areas in Florida that are really, whatever you want to call it, marshy and wet. And that if you had to make an emergency landing, alligators might be a concern for you. So something to think about. Flying in those areas, what happens if you have to land in the middle of nowhere and you're surrounded by alligators?